Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon Biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, if you could please say hello. Say hello to everybody.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I didn't ask that.
I just finished this just big stack of paperwork here. I had to get all the clearances and the rest of the permits transferred over from the Kanto region to make sure that we had the proper the licenses in place for all the stuff that we do in this class. Man, whew.
That's so vague.
Yeah, that is pretty vague. Can you get a little bit more specific on some of the documents that you've been?
Sure. So if you look at this stack right here, this is all like every time we bring in a Pokemon into class for a demonstration, it has to be signed off upon.
Signed off upon, yeah, naturally.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. The principal has to sign off on it. The mayor of town has to sign off on it.
The mayor of town?
The town, of course.
What town?
Goldenrod.
Goldenrod is a very vibrant city, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah,
I know. And listen, the mayor does not want to talk to me.
I don't blame him.
So I tried to get all of the permits done all at once today. And when I put the stack
for all
of
the Pokemon in the Johto region.
Yeah. It was when he saw the stack on my desk, he was pretty mad. And then he gave his stamp to the secretary and sent her out into sent them out in the hallway with me with all the paperwork.
So exciting.
Wow. It sounds like you had a very exciting day, Mr. Curtis. Also joining us here in the classroom today is, of course, our young trainer in training, Corbin. If you could please say hello to everybody.
Hey, yo, what's good? What's poppin'? The learning's never stopping, and the beat is fire. It's dropping.
Okay,
just gonna let him do it. Just let him do it. Just let him get arrested. I don't care.
No.
What?
No. I'm sorry. I can't have you arrested. I haven't filled out the let your students get arrested permit yet. You cannot get arrested in class, okay?
Darn it.
I don't know. That seems like a loophole for you, Corbin.
Well, I mean, but you're my legal guardian, right? You wouldn't let me get arrested, right?
School of Hard Knocks.
It's the non-liability waiver. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So I think we've talked about this before this semester, but am I allowed to rap in the classroom now that we're no longer in Saffron City?
No.
Obviously not.
I mean, yeah, because honestly, the rules, the laws surrounding rapping are even more rigid here in the Johto region.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you really have to watch it. Like that little outburst could have gotten you 10 to life.
Killed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so sorry about that. I will rap off the record from now on. Thank you.
Well, no, don't rap at all, actually.
Well, if I rap and no one's around to hear it, do I really rap?
Do you really rap? I mean, you're around to hear it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll know.
Maybe?
I'll hear it and I'll know.
If I put on really big noise canceling headphones, I can't hear it either.
I mean, you would want those noise canceling headphones to cancel out that god awful noise.
It's pretty rough.
Whoa, okay, not a rap fan there.
I'm not a Corbin fan.
Oh. Well, for somebody who's not my fan, you decided to be my guardian, so.
Decided? I mean, it's kind of my job.
Yeah. It is part of moving the students to another region. Can't expect the parents
student in this case.
It means I can do things like, take away your lunch for the day because, I didn't like how you looked at me. That's what a legal guardian can do, right?
That's right. Sign a work permit and get you working in the mines.
Yeah, and I
that's
and
child labor, and you're also stealing from a child. These are threats, and I do not tolerate them.
Listen, whoa! I throw the lunch into the trash can. I don't eat it myself.
That's right.
That's defacing my private property, though.
No,
I don't think
he's looking
food is
out.
private property.
He's looking out for your well-being. Look at you. You've put on a little bit of a pudge here.
Excuse me,
wow.
Mr. Curtis. I had a great summer vacation. Thank you very much. I had plenty of s'mores and hot dogs. Thank you very much.
I thought he was gonna be like plenty of s'mores, and that's it.
That's right.
No, I had s'mores and hot dogs. That was a lot of my diet
together.
During the summer.
like maybe you, instead of putting the hot dogs into hot dog buns, you put the hot dogs into like graham crackers, chocolate, and marshmallows?
No, God, don't be an idiot. What I would do is I would take one hot dog and then put a full s'more, a fully made s'more. I would do a hot dog in a bun. Okay. And then I would do a s'more, like a fully made s'more. And then another
sounds
hot
like you're
dog.
making this up right now as you go.
No, I'm not. And then another hot dog on top of that. So it was a sandwich made of hot dogs and s'mores.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Oh, so a hot dog and a bun, and then some marshmallow and chocolate in the middle, and then another hot dog with a bun?
Right. So it's like, okay, yeah. So you're not... Are you understanding me?
I understand, everyone? Like the theoretics of it. Like I can picture it in my brain, but like how it would work in reality doesn't.
It's a big bite. Okay, it's a very, very big bite.
Okay, fair enough. So I think we need to move on. We've dwelled on this long enough.
I think it'd be better to just make a bun out of a giant marshmallow, put the hot dog in there, sprinkle the chocolate syrup on top, and crumple up some graham cracker on top.
Oh yeah, How would be
all right? Here's what I would do. I would make the hot dog and then cut the hot dog in half.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I'd open that kind of like a bun, and then I'd put the marshmallow in there. And the chocolate, and then I'd wrap it all into like a graham cracker kind of shell.
Okay, all right,
yeah,
all right,
okay. Yeah. It really like emphasizes the crunch of the graham cracker, which is what I'm all about.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, he's all about the
Can
crunch.
we just talk about food? Could this just be a foodie lesson today, Professor?
Just specifically hot dogs and s'mores. That's
let's just talk about that for the next 45 minutes. I think students would be so psyched about that.
No, that's actually a different class. There is a culinary class here at the Goldenrod City Learning Center branch of the Saffron City Learning Center.
So dumb.
So I really don't want to intrude on that.
Well, I'd like to enroll. I'd like to enroll in that class.
All right, well, go for it.
Okay. Should I leave right now in the middle of class and go do that?
Well, you might want to stay here because there is participation points and grades and stuff.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But you'll have to enroll in that class on your own time, Corbin. All right. So, but before we start talking about the Pokemon of the day, I do have a quick Gengar mail here that I would like to read, if that's okay with everybody.
Sure, I'll allow it.
I did. Thank you. Of course.
Sure, yeah, I'll allow it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't really matter if you wanted to or not. It comes to us from a Ty, I believe is their name. They say,
Hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
Thanks, Ty.
Hi, Ty. Am I right?
Thank you, Ty.
Professor Jacob, Mr. Curtis, and young Corbin. Excellent spelling on the names, and you got our titles correct.
Well, you did spell
my
name wrong.
It's very rare. It's actually kind of sad how rare it is that people spell all of our names correctly.
Because it's KYR.
Nope.
See, you didn't even do it right that time.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm pretty sure you say incorrectly QYRT, and then
it changes every time.
Yeah.
Anyways, with the Gmail, continue.
Yes, so they say, I found your class on Spotify a few months ago and decided to join up. Upon reaching the Voltorb lesson, I realized you had not finished the Kanto Pokedex and strove to catch up before you finished the first region. I'm happy to say that as of this Gengar mail, I am listening to the Mewtwo lesson while drafting this. I do have several questions that may or may not have been answered in the Patreon, the Discord, or other avenues. Oh, hey, wow, thanks for the plug there, Ty.
Wow,
plug it up, Ty, woohoo!
Some being histories of the class and others looking forward. Okay, so there's a lot of questions here. I don't think we have time to answer all of them. But the first one here is for Mr. Curtis, I think. It says,
sure.
For Mr. Curtis, being a teaching assistant...
of course, the one and only.
He doesn't do a lot of assisting
doesn't.
The education of the students. Have you noticed this, Professor?
I definitely have. I've been calling it out for years.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, you can take this time, Mr. Curtis, to defend yourself.
Thank you. Everybody, that I teach a midweek study session in the library. First of all,
very still important. Doing that here in the GCLC, BOT, SCLC?
Yes, I am. I am doing it in room C of their library here in the GCLC, BOT, SCLC.
Library room C.
Right, of course.
Library room C. That's right. So LRC.
Sure.
Anyway. But also, I set up the classroom before and after class. I handle all the paperwork. I help make sure that the professor has all the Pokemon he needs for every class.
Well, okay. Well, hold on.
You don't do that.
I do that part. That's me.
Now you're just making up stuff, so nobody knows what you do because you lie.
So, I mean, sometimes you bring the Pokemon, but
I
a lot of the times I take care of that.
But I a lot of the ones from the Kanto region went to my, professor's, my uncle's breeding facility up region.
Well, sure, but that's after the fact.
Yeah, right. After the fact. That's just getting rid of the Pokemon is just as important as getting hold of it.
Getting rid?
Yeah, please.
What do you say getting rid like that? Are you saying you've been slaughtering all of these Pokemon?
No, I said offloading it to my uncle in his breeding facility upstate. Okay,
you definitely didn't say that.
You did not say that at all.
Anyways, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, so I run interference for the principals.
You interfere with my life every day, Mr. Curtis.
Mm-hmm. I keep track of Corbin. I make sure that I'm taking all dictations of everything the professor does 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to keep track of Corbin.
That's right. So I handle a lot of things. Just because I don't actually teach the lesson doesn't mean I'm not a good teaching assistant.
Yeah, he's a teaching assistant, right? He assists me
to the
teaching. Yeah. And he also, helps study. And it's right. Just because nobody goes to those study sessions doesn't mean he's not doing them.
Hey, I'm there every time, and I have had a great time teaching my class to the empty chairs that are in room C. Okay?
He's getting very good at teaching to an empty room. Although, if anybody does briefly wander in, he locks up.
It is
it's like he's frozen.
Well, mainly because if I say the wrong thing, I don't want it to ever conflict with the professor here. So if I say the wrong thing, I worry about the permanent damage I could cause to the future students. It's just thinking about it.
So you don't ever want to disagree with the professor?
I don't ever want to disagree with the professor, and I don't ever want to just say the wrong thing. Like if I said that a particular Pokemon weighed 5.2 kilograms instead of 5.3 kilograms, the final consequences could be disastrous. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty severe. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody were trying to,
Mr. Curtis, I'm begging you to have an original thought, please.
The implications are endless.
Oh, Corbin, there's no such thing as an original thought anymore.
I am sinking into a state of despair and.
Whoa,
you good? Mr. Curtis, you want to talk about it? You all right?
No.
All right, fine. I'll go to a study session. All right, chill.
He's going to the study session.
Yeah. But yes, but
he's conflicted. All right,
I'm just trying to be
helpful.
From one sad boy to another, I'm trying to be helpful. Okay.
That's right.
Corbin, here's the list of questions. Is there any ones that you want to answer here?
Okay. Yeah. There's two that are Corbin specific. I can answer this one. When are we going to hear Corbin's essay on Voltorb that he wrote for the Jigglypuff lesson? Well, that's a funny story. So, it didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to, so it's still going under some other rewrites.
Yeah, but maybe we'll hear it later on.
Yeah, it's going under some rewrites right now, but rest assured it will be coming soon. But the other question is, has Corbin ever recorded his raps to be released, or was he arrested before he had the chance? I have several mixtapes written, but I have not recorded them. I'm trying to currently build a soundproof booth where in the room that I'm renting in the city here. I'm trying to build a little soundproof room.
What does your roommate think about that?
Gordon is not a huge fan of it. It is kind of on his side, and it's kind of underneath his bed. So the idea is that to make it the most soundproof as possible, I crawl under his bed and I have a booth that's under there. So I lay down while I'm rapping. Does that make sense? Like I'm not in a booth hipping and hopping in. I'm going underneath someone's bed and
remaining perfectly still.
Right. And I did use the allowance that I got back when I was living at home in Kanto, and I bought up I have some good equipment. It's solid. But
he's doing it underneath a bed because it is once again illegal to rap in the Johto region. So
it's
kind of like a rapping speakeasy kind of thing.
So yeah, it's basically like the equivalent of rap running. You know, it's hiding the fact that I'm rapping, which no, I'm not. To anybody listening,
of course
I'm not.
This is not an admission of guilt.
Yeah, it will not hold up in a court of law.
This is an artistic interpretation.
Right. I'm not actually doing this. Not actually doing it.
He's winking at me. He's winking. He's also saying that he is doing it.
Yeah. Anyways, I haven't started it. I haven't started doing the rapping yet. I'm still, I've written a few mixtapes. I'm trying to right now.
A few mix. Isn't that like? Wait, I thought weren't mixtapes like when you take songs of other people and put them all together into like one.
No,
CD. Isn't that what a mixtape is?
That's a mixed tape. That's very different.
Okay.
But hey, maybe what we should do for one of our Patreon tiers.
Yeah,
we should. Sure. I should release a rap song. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be cool. Yeah,
that's actually not a bad idea.
What's that, like $2,000 a month?
Maybe at $2,000 a month or something like that. Yeah, I'll release a rap song.
We'll never hear it, guys. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
All right, next question here. I will give me the Gmail back, Corbin.
What? Give it to you.
I gave it to you to look over.
Oh, sorry.
That's
sorry.
Right. Hand it back, Corbin.
Clearly
hand
still
back.
have in your hands. Okay, thank
really
you.
Nice paper.
All right, I know. Yeah, it's the
7 stock. I love this paper.
I mean, it's what's in the GCLC, BOT, SCLC printer room. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, okay, yeah, they can afford the good stuff. We couldn't have this at Kanto.
I'm gonna answer the last question on here. It says, are there plans for doing knowledge checks for each region, like a final test for each section of the Pokedex? I have done a comprehensive test before, and I did really like it, but it was only on, I think, like the first 10 Pokemon, and it took a lot to write. So I'm a little bit more interested in doing a final project. I think that would be more interesting. But I haven't quite figured out what I would want that to be yet, because we do cover a lot in each section, and it'd be hard to accumulate it all into one thing. But I'm definitely thinking about it, and I definitely do think it would be an interesting thing to do.
For sure.
So Ty finishes their Gengar mail by saying, also a couple of observations, mostly from Mr. Curtis. Decidueye, being one of my favorite Pokemon, is National Pokedex number 724, as he should know from taking this class previously. As a grass-type aficionado myself, your Spinnerack colony disgusts me.
Amen. Amen. Hear, hear.
Wow, he's rolling up his sleeves. Mr. Curtis is rolling up his sleeves, ready to go.
Mr. Curtis, where'd you get the headband from? What is that? What are you putting that on?
Negative. Accuse me of not being a good teaching assistant, and then to say that Spinnerack disgusts you. You get a negative gold star on this one.
Ty, let's hang out, buddy. We have a lot in common.
No, negative gold star.
You got a lot of good ideas.
Got a lot of good ideas. I like the way your brain works, buddy.
Nope. Hey, you know what? You're not invited to the midweek study session.
Who? Me?
There. No, not you. Ty.
Oh, yeah. I'm already going. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. Ty, sorry, buddy. I'll fill you in on what happens after.
No, don't you dare. Nah, I guess you can do that. They finish off by saying, and lastly, I'm looking forward to keeping up with the Johto Pokedex and beyond, especially lesson 252 in particular.
Well, hopefully we can get there.
Hopefully, we'll see. We're what, a year or so away from that one?
A couple years.
Couple years. Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah,
couple years. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, jeez, it's just time flies in this class. Okay, but that's gonna do it for Gengar Mails today. Does anybody know what Pokemon we are learning about this week?
Mr. Curtis, if you say Decidueye, I'm gonna light a firecracker in this room.
Oh, jeez, he's doing it.
See, I told you I'd do it.
Put it away. Firecracker in here. Oh, it's everywhere.
Put it down.
Oh God.
I told you.
Why did you do this?
Light a firecracker. I told you.
So loud.
I told you.
Corbin, please.
You're scaring Lex. Stop it, please. Okay. Okay. It's dying down now. Jeez, God. How did you get that in here?
I have my ways. If I can build a booth under a bed, I can smuggle a firecracker into class.
All right, we gotta start patting him down before he comes into this class.
Hey, no.
I have to put a checkpoint in.
It's not Decidueye. Corbin, would you like to take a guess? Now, last week, we talked about Quilava, if you remember that.
Ooh,
it is the evolved form of that Pokemon.
It is Typhlosion. Is that how you pronounce it?
You know, the spirit was there, so I'm going to give it to you. It's Typhlosion. There's an H in there. Yeah,
it's got flow like me. Got it.
You're just asking for it, aren't you? But yes, it's Typhlosion. So last week we had a Gengar mail asking if we could get a Hisuian Typhlosion. And, you know, I did a lot of digging, I did a lot of searching, and I actually, interestingly enough, found there's another professor here at the GCLC, BOT, SCLC, that does research into the ancient forms of the Johto Pokemon.
Oh,
yeah, I know. What are the odds, right? I guess I should talk to my colleagues more. But
that's right. We have a cooking class. We have a ancient research into ancient Pokemon class. That's pretty good.
that's their area of research. That's not the class they teach. You're not gonna believe this. It's the same professor.
What?
Oh, what?
That teaches the cooking class?
Yeah, they do some ancient study in their off time.
Oh, what's this professor's name?
I didn't catch their name because it's weird. It's an Appleton.
Oh, there's an Appleton.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's why they do cooking, because they're really
well, maybe
good.
I'll see the name tag on the door on my way out.
Oh, I remember. But don't they normally have a Fido in that class with them too?
Well, yeah, but the Fido is their teaching assistant.
Oh. See, I thought I liked that Fido.
Yeah, have you never seen them at your interregional assistants to the professors group? What is
something
it called?
like that? Something like that.
The Interregional Society of Assistants to Professionalism.
That's the one.
That sounds right.
But no, they haven't been proven yet as a teaching assistant. You know, you have to take your class at least 3 times before we'll let you join the IRSATP.
Wait, they have to.
Okay.
Wait, they have to teach a class 3 times. Is that what you said?
Well, they have to like take/assist on the teaching of the class at least 3 times before you're qualified enough. But yeah, so no. Unfortunately, the Fido is not yet been accepted into the Interregional Society of Assistants to Professionalism, mainly because they just haven't finished filling out their application.
Oh, that's
if
it's a long application.
It is. It's 6 pages, and it does require 7 references. So you do have to put the work in. But,
anyways, all of this is to say that I do have a Hisuian Typhlosion here today. The Appleton that does the research was able to find a group of them in the mountains of the Sinnoh region. So I have one here today that was forcefully relocated into this Pokeball, and you're about to see it. Who's ready?
Woo!
I am so ready. I've seen images and stuff before of regular Typhlosions, but I don't know anything about a Hisuian, so this is a very exciting moment for your boy.
A lot of this Hisuian stuff is kind of like being recently brought back to the forefront of research, so it's really great. It's really interesting. So here is a Hisuian Typhlosion.
What? Okay.
All right. Yeah,
that is cool.
So we all know what a regular Typhlosion looks like. They're like all over the place. Yes.
I think you're a little mistaken. This one just looks kind of sick. Maybe
it does look sick.
No, he looks cool.
Sick,
he doesn't look sick. He looks cool. He's hanging out. He doesn't look. He's bothered by anything. Look at the fire wispiness on his neck.
It's not the right color. I don't think it's gotten all of his shots.
I don't agree with you on this one, Mr. Curtis. I think this one's got good vibes. This one,
he's got a good energy about him.
The vibes are solid on this Typhlosion.
All right, Professor, you're the boss.
Just chill. And so, but we've all seen, the current day Typhlosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're kind of like you can't walk down the street without seeing one here in the Johto region.
Mm-hmm.
Right, of course, yeah.
Everybody knows the most common Pokemon in the Johto region.
Well, I wouldn't say that now. Starters are still rare. They're not the most common. You can't say that.
They be giving those things out like candy.
They do.
Any 10-year-old to show any kind of skill with a Pokemon. They're like, have a Typhlosion.
I just love his look. He's got this cool little wispy tail, this cream belly, these 3 little fiery like balls or orbs on its neck. I love like the purple fire. That's kind of neat. I mean, it's just, listen, there's a lot to love about you, sir. And honestly, I think the name for you is Sir Ocelot. I think that just makes sense.
It's a very regal name.
It's a very regal name, and it's also the name of one of our patrons. So it just makes the most amount of sense.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Ocelot. Sir Ocelot, sorry.
Sir Ocelot. It's not just Ocelot. It's Sir Ocelot.
I forgot that you were a knight of the realm.
I'm just going to call this one Sir for short. Sir?
Yes, sir?
You are delightful. You are very cool looking.
Yes. Bow your head, Corbin.
Oh, sir. You are very cool.
Sir.
You bring the good vibes, and I appreciate that.
So, as we'll learn, these are a lot more docile than the current day Typhlosions, and but that's not to say that they can't fight, and we'll learn a little bit more about that going forward. But I think it's time to start
I do get that impression, Professor.
Yeah, it seems like it's chill for the most part. Like, you'd want to sit down and hang out with it and have some s'mores and hot dogs, but at the same time, it can throw down if it wants.
Yeah, and it will. So don't. Give it a reason to.
Never, sir. Never.
All right, let's go ahead and put Sir Ocelot back into the Pokeball. And I'm going to go ahead and read some of these Pokedex entries.
Bye, sir. I miss you so much.
Thank you, Sir Ocelot, for your service.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, sir. And bye-bye, sir. I want one.
Well,
please. Can I have that one? Can I have sir?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Nope.
I don't know. Oh, Mr. Curtis says no, so I can't, unfortunately.
Nope,
what?
You cannot.
He's not in charge.
All right. So, starting off in the Johto region, we're gonna, these first couple Pokedexes entries are for, a current day Typhlosion.
Okay.
All right. So the first one these first couple come to us from the Johto region. It says, if its rage peaks, it becomes so hot that anything that touches it will instantly go up in flames.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
So if you see a Typhlosion, you got to be careful around it.
But see, it doesn't like coat its body in flames. Once
it's
again,
just the frill thing.
We have had Magmar. Like, I feel like Magmar is more likely to.
What do you mean we've had Magmar?
Oh, you're saying that Magmar was the same way, that like if it touched something, it just like ignited.
Well, no, just Magmar is like a whole body of fire. And I didn't get the impression that it would just, if anything touches it, will go up in flames. But evidently that's the case for Typhlosion.
Okay, but Magmar's body wasn't made of fire. It was just red and orange.
You might be right, Professor.
I might be right.
Wow.
But I might also be wrong.
Mr. Curtis is wrong
again. Professor's always right.
Wrong again, buddy.
Anyways, but yeah, so in this entry is specifically saying that if it becomes so hot that if you touch it, you will instantly go up in flames. So, I mean, what the Pokedex says is true. It's got to be right.
Always, without fail.
So we can't question it. Moving on. It has a secret devastating move. It rubs its blazing fur together to cause huge explosions.
Whoa!
Kaboom.
That's all it takes, huh?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the fur is hot enough to make anything that it touches go up in flames instantly. So I think, mixing them together, I think could definitely cause some, at the very least, fire to expel.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
I think. Do you think the fur is flammable in itself?
That would be interesting because
it would have to constantly be growing more fur if it's burning its fur.
And it would be counterintuitive to what we learned from Quilava in that it has very, very fire resistant fur.
Oh, that's true. That's right. I apologize, Professor. That was a stupid question.
Maybe it was.
Strike
Mr.
me
Curtis.
down where I sit.
No, I would never.
Maybe it lights its fur on fire, then it rubs it together, and then explosions happen.
I think it just rubs its fur together, and that makes stuff explode.
Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it does say blazing fur.
It says blazing, like it's got to be on fire first.
It does suggest that. Maybe we'll have to do some.
What if it just breathes fire on its hands or its paws, and then it rubs its neck where the flaming fur is, and then it just like is an explosion that just erupts from its neck? Should we get
Typhlosion back out here and see if we can recreate this?
You know what?
No explosions in the classroom.
We destroyed the Kanto classroom more times than we can count. I don't know if that's a good idea here.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let me check here, Mr. Curtis. Have we filled out the explosion form yet?
We have not, Professor.
Dang it.
No,
I told you to
no
get that one.
explosions.
I told you to put it on top of the pile.
I prioritized your housing and I had to get all the permits together for your penthouse suite. It's just
I didn't have a permit for that place yet.
Wait, did you sign out?
We didn't build it.
Did you sign the paperwork to get 2% milk in the cafeteria? Because right now it's only skim and it's disgusting.
It's not enough
I love
milk.
skim. The skim's just as liquidy.
No.
Love
Okay,
it.
no.
That's not enough milk ratio. Okay, this next entry is very, very interesting. When heat from its body causes the air around it to shimmer, this is a sign that it is ready to battle. Shimmering. I guess that's like the
like
air,
heat waves.
Yeah, the air molecules catching on fire, maybe.
It's kind of like when you're looking at a campfire when you're cooking s'mores or hot dogs, and you see like these little shimmering things above it's like a wave. It's like the distortion of whatever is behind the fire. It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like the heat waves.
Like the heat waves, yeah.
I see. I thought it was more of like a sparkly kind of thing.
It could be both.
Because shimmer definitely indicates, some kind of shining light to me.
That is true.
But it would make more sense, the thing that you're saying.
It's kind of a ripple.
Yeah.
It's a ripple in time and space, if you will.
Sure. Moving on to the Hoenn region, the first entry says, Typhlosion obscures itself behind a shimmering heat haze that it creates using intensely hot flames. This Pokemon creates blazing, explosive blasts that burn everything to cinders.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the heat haze things does make me think it's kind of like, the heat waves that you would see.
Typhlosion, more like Ty-explosion.
Wow. Hey. Oh, God. He made himself laugh.
I think you're the first person to ever make that joke, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, I know. It's now he's sleeping.
Now are you sleeping? Oh, put yourself to sleep?
So
He tired himself out.
No, I would never sleep in this class.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that does it for the Hoenn region. Let's move on to the Sinnoh region. It's very quick here. It says it attacks using blasts of fire. It creates heat shimmers with intense fire to hide itself.
Ooh.
See, shimmers. The word shimmers really makes it sound like it's,
See, that's making me. That really does make me believe that there is like a light element to it.
To hide itself, though? That seems like to hide itself,
But how does that hide itself? If it's just like, if it's glowing, everyone knows where it is.
Well, maybe it's glowing so bright that you can't look at it, so something is there, you just don't know what it is.
Yeah, the hiding means it's obscuring.
It could be a Magmar with a body of flames, or it could be Typhlosion with its fiery neck.
You'll never know.
That's right.
Only one way to find out, and that's to get all up in there.
That's right.
And that's just what it wants. That's exactly what Typhlosion wants.
Exactly what it wants, and then it pounces, and then you're dead.
Falling right into its trap.
That's right.
Okay, so there's nothing new from any of the other regions, unfortunately. Of course, there's a Hisuian entry, but I'm going to read that in a second. I'm going to finish reading the
oh, please, Professor.
Johtoian? The modern day form.
Professor, you sound so uneducated. It's Jotans.
Yeah, I sound uneducated. So we do have another Pokedex entry here from one Professor Neroli. Researching the sleep of Pokemon sleep,
that's right.
if you will.
Mm-hmm. Professor Ravioli, that's right.
My favorite Italian professor, Stromboli.
What's Italia?
Yeah, where's Italia?
Where's that? What region is Italy?
Yes.
Italia, if you will.
It's a type of restaurant. You've been to an Italian restaurant.
Oh yeah, of course. We said this.
Oh,
we said
that's
this.
right. I think, you know what? I think Italia is right next to India, where the elephants are. The Indian elephants that we've read about.
Yeah, the ones that those Raichus keep killing.
Right. It's a massacre. It's a genocide.
It's horrible.
It's awful.
Okay, but Professor Neroli says, it's said that when Typhlosion tosses and turns in its sleep, its fur rubs together and occasionally produces blasts of fire. Take care not to venture near a sleeping Typhlosion by accident.
So it doesn't wake itself up by doing that?
Sorry, Typhlosion, you gotta sleep outside. You're not allowed in the house.
How does it not wake itself up?
It doesn't say it doesn't wake itself up.
I guess you're right.
I mean, it might wake itself up. We don't know. Professor Neroli hasn't figured that one out yet. He hasn't gotten close enough to it.
Come on.
But okay, so that does it, I believe, on the current day Typhlosion. Of course, we have a couple of entries here for Hisuian Typhlosion. I have a little bit more. I found a couple of extra sources on some Hisuian Pokemon, so I have a little bit more to read. Excitingly, so the first entry is just the basic one that from that like old Pokedex,
old-timey text.
Yeah, like that we found. It says, said to purify lost, forsaken souls with its flames and guide them to the afterlife. I believe its form has been influenced by the energy of the sacred mountain towering at Hisui's center.
Now, you believe that, Professor?
I was going to ask that. You believe that yourself?
So this is the writings of the ancient Hisui professor.
Yeah,
not me.
Okay,
yeah, whose name has been lost to time. We'll never know what it was.
Pour one out for him.
He really paved the way. Okay, so he actually has a couple extra notes here. The first one is labeled a laid-back Pokemon. It says, in addition to having graceful and refined movements, Hisuian Typhlosion has a very relaxed disposition and can often be seen staring into space. At such times, it is thought to be looking at the flow of life energy and spirits.
That reminds me of Corbin when he gets distracted in the back of class.
Yeah,
just staring off into space.
I mean, maybe it's that interaction with the Gengar really awakened a third eye for him.
What are you guys talking about? Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was doing it. He was doing it right there.
See, I told you.
Okay,
I was just zoning out for a second. Something about the cool, chill Hisuian Typhlosion.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to read the whole thing over again, Corbin, because you need to pay attention to this. This is important information.
Oh, sorry, please. I'm sorry, please.
In addition to having graceful and refined movements, Hisuian Typhlosion has a very relaxed disposition and can often be seen staring into space. At such times, it is thought to be looking at the flow of life energy and spirits. It will occasionally eat wayward spirits, but it is believed that spirits consumed this way are then purified by the Pokemon's flames and returned to where they belong.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
I don't know about that, Professor. When I eat stuff, it certainly is not purified. The next time you see
What's the opposite of purification? Because that's what Mr. Curtis does.
Desecration.
That's what I do to the food I eat.
Desecration. Yeah. Oh, don't use the bathroom down the hallway.
I desecrate everything I eat.
It is unholy ground.
Yes, Mr. Curtis has desecrated the bathroom.
So let's think about this for a second. So it says that when it eats these spirits, they are purified by the Pokemon's flames. So that means, I believe, that Hisuian Typhlosion has flames inside of itself as well as on the outside, right?
Sure. I think we all have a fire within us, though.
T-shirt. All right, moving on. But yeah, so that's interesting to think about, and the fact that it, I wonder if it only eats wayward spirits, or if that's just kind of like a delicacy for it, kind of like a little dessert.
I think it's doing the spirits a favor, helping them cross over to the afterlife. It's
like you don't think it does it for fun. It's like a job.
Well, it's a job. It's like the ferryman. It's a chill Grim Reaper.
Well, it's not a fairy type. It's not a fairy type. It's a ghost and fire type, Corbin.
All right. Well, it's like Davy Jones, right?
Who's Davy Jones? Is he a professor somewhere?
No, it's an old tale about this guy, this pirate. Not like Team Aqua pirate. I'm talking like back in the olden days, like a pirate that would ferry dead people and dead Pokemon to the afterlife. Like it's kind of like that a little bit.
That's how they used to do in the old days, but what do they do now?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, maybe you should die and we'll find out.
Okay,
You'll see if a pirate comes.
You know what? I think that tops it of worst things I've heard in this class from my peers here.
What, you don't like the professor's advice of what if you just died?
Yeah. I think this is I think I'm gonna quit after this one.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if you make it back for the next Pokemon.
That's right.
I don't think I want to make it back. You
okay,
said to die.
I have one more piece of info for Hisuian Typhlosion here. And it's labeled, this is another note on the Hisuian professor's Pokedex. It says, it attacks using its 108 ghost flames.
108?
108 specifically. Hisuian Typhlosion is usually gentle and pacifistic. However, once angered, it loses control of its emotions and incinerates opponents until not even ashes remain. It emits ghost flames, said to number as many as 108, from the fires around its neck. It only has one neck. It's not Doduo. These flames all attack the opponent, adopting the countenance of ferocious beasts.
So they look like something.
Yeah, well, they kind of look. I could describe them as a little bit like ghastly looking, or maybe Haunter looking.
They are pretty cool.
God, he's still crying. Get over it, It was a joke.
Okay, I'll try.
But. So it makes me wonder, though, right? It said that Typhlosion's flames purify spirits, right? So if it kills you with this attack, is your spirit automatically purified?
Yeah, man. I guess being killed by a Typhlosion would not be the worst thing in the world.
Whoa. Specifically by Typhlosion's flames. If it claws you to death.
So, but does it have to eat you, or just, can you just be burned that way?
I mean, so, okay, so back in that previous one, it says, it's believed that spirits consumed this way are then purified by the Pokemon's flames. The flames do the purifying.
Okay.
Not the eating. So I'm saying,
you have to be burned alive. Is that simple?
Or your soul. It's specifically your soul is being burned.
Right, okay.
Right? And my soul is inside of me, right?
I think so.
Some people, I do sometimes believe my soul is back in the beautiful mountains and volcanoes and oceans of the Hoenn region, but that's a story for a different day.
Wait, what?
What? All right, that's gonna do it for all of the Pokedex entries.
I trust me, Professor. I track your soul on the regular. It stays here with you, with your body.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Curtis, apparently there's a quantifiable way to measure and track souls.
Yeah, I can smell your soul. It does tend to go out for lunch on a regular basis. I don't know if you ever feel kind of out of it around lunchtime, but it always comes back fairly quickly. So,
where does it eat?
Oh, I don't know. I would never leave your corporeal body behind as your soul left. I mean, who needs souls anyway? I mean,
clearly, if I can live without one for periods of time every single day.
Sorry, I zoned out again. What were we talking about?
Yeah, I don't blame you. That was pretty boring. Moving on. I think it's time. So it's time for the testing portion of today's lesson. Unfortunately, there are no unique Pokedex entries here for Typhlosion. I know. Ash didn't find this one.
Ash, come on.
All right. So I have a debate for you today.
You're gonna debate with me, Professor? Why?
No, I have no. You, Mr. Curtis,
debate
and
the merits
Corbin,
of a quiz.
Are you
going to do a quiz?
Are we gonna debate why poem is the best by doing a poem?
No, we're gonna do a debate. We're gonna do a debate centered around Typhlosion. All right, and the longer you delay it, the more difficult I'm gonna make it.
Let's debate about why we shouldn't do a debate.
All right, so the way the debate works, I changed it up a little while ago, so I'm just gonna remind everybody, is I'm gonna give you a debate topic first, and then I'm gonna have one student decide if they want to go first or if they want to go second, and then whichever student goes first gets to decide if they will be for or against the topic. All right. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Sure. So, Mr. Curtis, today I'm gonna let you decide. So I'm gonna give you the debate topic, and then I'm gonna let you decide if you want to go first or second. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So the debate topic is losing access to the ghost energy emanating from Mount Coronet has been detrimental to the evolution of Typhlosion. So you can either be for or against this. No, wait. You can decide if you want to go first or second. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I have to be polite. Okay. I'll let Corbin go first.
Listen,
please.
If there's one thing we know about Mr. Curse is that he's polite.
Huh? What? Oh,
well,
yes.
Sometimes.
So you're gonna go second?
I'm gonna go second.
So that means that Corbin goes first, and he gets to decide which, if he wants to be for the topic or against it.
So again, it's losing access to the ghost energy from Mount Coronet has been detrimental to Typhlosion.
To the evolution of Typhlosion.
To the evolution of Typhlosion. Do I want to be for or against this argument?
Yes.
This is hard, honestly. I feel like it could really go either way, but
all right. See, now that's a good debate question.
Hey, I'm
gonna say,
Professor Jacob, good debate question. I finally did it after years.
I'll say it is detrimental. I will say that I'm defending that argument, not attacking it.
Okay, so you are for. That means
yes.
Mr. Curtis.
Well, I'm 10, but I'm with the argument. Yes.
Mr. Curtis is against. Let me remind you what the rubric here is. 1 and 2, always the same. Must include information we learned in class and must demonstrate an understanding of the Pokemon's unique attributes and abilities. 3, you must build arguments around the proven facts about the topic Pokemon. And 4, you must respond to at least one of the opponent's arguments with a legitimate counter argument. So go ahead, take your time, write some good debate, some good points and counterpoints. Try to predict what your opponent is going to say here, and that might help you out with that counter argument portion. But go ahead, take your time. Okay, all right. So you guys looking at me like you're expecting me to say something. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done and ready to argue with that guy over there.
Can you hear it in my brain?
Can you feel it?
Let's see if we can hear Mr. Curtis's brain. Is that your brain? No, you're making that with your mouth. Clearly,
who's going first? Who's going first here?
Remember, you're going first, Corbin. Remember?
That's right. Here we go.
Yes. All right. So remember. So you start with your opening statement. All right.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. I have a lot to say on the subject. So again, as a reminder, the debate or my argument is losing access to the ghost/spiritual energy from Mount Coronet. Coronet. However you want to say it. Coronet.
They'll tell us how we're supposed to say it.
They'll tell us. Don't worry. Our students will tell us if I'm saying it wrong.
They will make sure we know how to say it.
They'll make sure that we are dumb and that we said it wrong. Mount Coronet has been detrimental to the evolution of Typhlosion. So I am saying that yes, it has been detrimental, and I'm going to explain why. In the very first entry, the first thing that it is said about Typhlosion in the Johto region is that it is full of rage and fury. It is known that if Typhlosion gets enraged, anything around it will go up in flames. Many of the Pokedex entries said this. Now, what happens if that Typhlosion is in an area with children and it gets angry randomly? What if something, angers it when it's in a predictable, a very sensitive situation? What if it's surrounded by grass-type Pokemon hanging out in the park with its trainer? Or just around trainers in general, right? You never know. Because as a person, you never know. Something could just happen in front of you that makes you angry. What if that could easily just happen to any Pokemon too? What if something just made a Typhlosion angry when it was around, other people, Pokemon, etc., or just the environment? It could start a forest fire. The calmness of Hisuian Typhlosion is a result of the ghost energy from the mountain. A more highly evolved Pokemon who can fight, but never first, right? It has found purpose in guiding souls to the afterlife. It is not the version of Typhlosion we used to know was not some angry, enraged Pokemon. It had a purpose in guiding souls to the afterlife, and that is a worthy task for such an incredible Pokemon. And I testify that losing that element has made Typhlosion essentially a ticking time bomb. And that is my opening statement.
All right. Very good. Very interesting, Corbin. Mr. Curtis, it is your time to provide an opening statement. And then after your opening statement, you can respond to Corbin's opening statement.
Thank you. Hello, class. Hello, Professor. Thank you, Corbin.
What's up?
Thank you for the delightful debate performance. I am here to say that the modern day Typhlosion is a superior version than its ancient counterpart. That is to say that losing the spiritual energy of Mount Coronet was not detrimental to the evolution of Typhlosion. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, moving on to Corbin's now.
That's right. That is...
Oh, you're still going.
That is to say that it's superior to the version of its ancient counterpart, its spiritual ancestor. Get it? Because it's infusing souls and it's its ancestor.
All right, Portia, insert a laugh track here.
So it's spiritual ancestor's connection to, or even dependence, never on the spiritual energy, never allowed for Typhlosion to reach its full potential. The ancient Hisuian version was more passive and would stare into space, while the modern day version is known to even cause the air to literally shimmer. It causes explosions in its fur. It can even cause everything it touches to erupt into flames. It is active, involved, and reactive to its environment. Now, that was my opening statement.
Okay,
now, Corbin may say that the modern Typhlosion is an angry boy, but that's not the case. The Dex entries that we speak of its power, because that's because it's so striking, and its main feature as a fire starter for all the young boys and girls of the Johto region. But as we learned and we saw from Sir Ocelot himself here in the class, modern Typhlosions can have a calm side too. They're not just ticking time bombs, as Corbin says. And that's
my
response.
I do want to reiterate that the Typhlosion that we saw in class was a Hisuian Typhlosion.
Oh, that...
Got him.
I just want to make sure that we're all clear on that. In case that
wow,
part has
Mr.
been
Curtis.
forgotten. I know it's been a while since that happened.
Okay, that's true.
Do you want to keep that part, Mr. Curtis, or should we strike it from the record?
Just straight.
Looks like you were spacing out like a Hisuian Typhlosion, Mr. Curtis.
Strike that from the record. You are correct. Sir Ocelot is an ancient Hisuian version, but he was found in modern day. So I think that is... Well, okay, that doesn't prove my point.
he's still trying to turn it around. He's
conceding, baby.
But listen, like we've said before,
everyone
we've all seen Typhlosions, and just because when they're angry or when they want to cause damage, they can, doesn't mean they always do. Okay, Typhlosions can have a soft side too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Corbin. Ugh. All right, Corbin, it is your turn to provide a response to Mr. Curtis's opening statement.
I think you're wrong, Mr. Curtis.
Okay,
and this is me reacting to your other statement. Curtis mentions that it is active and involved. Not really sure what that means, but that doesn't make it more evolved, if you know what I'm saying. Having an active Pokemon that knows how to fight doesn't necessarily mean that it's more evolved. Evolution is more about power. It is also knowing when to fight and when to also, control your anger and turn the other cheek and be mature. The chill version has a lot to deal with ferrying souls to the afterlife, okay? So it's got bigger fish to fry, bigger fish Pokemon to fry than worrying about getting angry so easily, okay? Its sensitivity to its environment makes it a danger. Mr. Curtis was trying to claim that, it's very in tune with its environment. That's actually the problem, is because if it is in a, what happens if a Typhlosion is on a train with its trainer and other trainers, and then it randomly gets angry? Okay, well then that's domestic terrorism, because that train's going to go up in flames. Because anything it touches, and it does say, anything it touches will instantly go up in flames. And it also says that it has explosions that come from it, from rubbing its fur around. That is a disaster waiting to happen in any public space, right? Unless you have a very highly trained Typhlosion, it's still, it's still possible. It says when its rage peaks, it becomes so hot that it touches anything. That's what it says. Even if it's a trained Pokemon, it can still do that.
It becomes so hot. Wait, you said it becomes so hot that it touches anything.
That not touches anything. Anything it touches will burn up instantly or cause explosions or whatever.
Okay.
So, I think that how reactive it is not a strength. I think Mr. Curtis is trying to say that it being reactive to its environment makes it a good evolved Pokemon, and I'm saying the opposite. I think the fact that the Hisuian version is not as reactive, and that it's more voluntary with its reactions and the way that it chooses to use its powers, makes it more evolved. Being able to control oneself is a product of higher evolution, and I will subscribe to that, and I will die by that. The involuntary reactions of a Typhlosion and the mayhem that it causes by getting angry is detrimental to its evolution.
All right.
And that is also my final statement. I have nothing. I feel like I keep repeating myself because I firmly believe this.
Okay. All right. So thank you for the closing statement. Mr. Curtis, it's now time for your closing statement.
Yeah.
Remember, this is not a time to respond to.
What? Okay. All right. What if it does get angry, huh? What if the Hisuian version gets angry, huh? Well, if you'll remember, the Hisuian version can burn its foes until not even ashes remain. So even the Hisuian version is as much a terrorist threat than the modern one, but only when it loses control of its emotions. But as we've learned from Professor Stromboli, Neroli, the modern one is also so powerful that it's primed to strike, and it can even do it in its sleep. Which means you have to be careful, but also it means
you're not helping your case.
Oh, let him finish. I mean, this is the way that you can, because that could be. Okay, I'm not supposed to help. Keep going. It's you. You can save this. You can save this, Mr. Curtis.
No, you can't.
That's right. Yes. The modern one is so powerful and primed to strike, it can even do it in its sleep. Not something that the previous Hisuian version was capable of, right? Typhlosion has gone from powerful when mad, but mostly passive, to the peak of burning power, fire, performance. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So, very good of everybody here. I think, Mr. Curtis, all fours on that for you. Definitely included information we learned in class, demonstrated understanding of the attributes and abilities, and you built your argument around proven facts about the topic of Pokemon, and you made a legitimate counter argument. Corbin, you did very, very well too. I do have a little bit of concern of where you were kind of like you didn't seem sure about modern day Typhlosion's anger and how that affects the things around it.
Hey, listen, it's a ticking time bomb.
Well, it's specifically if things touch it, right? And I don't even think that it's when it's angry. Hold on. It's just
well, unless it's floating, it's always touching something.
It does say it when its rage peaks. Yes. So when its rage peaks, it becomes so hot that anything that touches it will instantly go up in flames.
Well, listen, the grass is touching its feet, and it's touching the grass.
Hey, maybe you have to go touch the grass. Thank you.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna take 0.2 points off of that, because just a little bit, bit.
Hey, you know
just
what?
Bully me. First, you tell me I should die.
No.
That sounds pretty. That sounds pretty fair and equitable to me.
Oh, thank you, Portia.
You did say Portia, I should die.
Do it.
Play the music, Portia.
Do it, Portia. Do it. There it
Burn
is.
it.
No, Portia. They said I should die. No,
she already played it, Corbin. She already played it.
Oh. Well, we can't hear it. We don't know. We're just assuming.
I know.
She decided to edit that in. You think she edited that in? Okay.
Or maybe she put it in right now.
I don't think she did.
Or maybe she did both. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe she did both. Who knows?
Okay. But yeah, so very good. And I will say, just because, the argument can be made that the modern day Typhlosion has much stronger flames and is much, is more explosive, right? Which, flames are its main defensive, attribute. That's how it defends itself. So having stronger flames and bigger explosions could be a good thing for Typhlosion. So not necessarily, it's, you can't just think of safety as a reason for it being a detriment, right? You see what I'm saying here?
No, I get what you're saying. You're saying in terms of the power and its abilities. the modern day version could work. I get that, but I'm just saying it's a ticking time bomb. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right, and you truly believe that.
I do. Right.
So that's going to do it for today's lesson on Typhlosion. Do either of you guys know what Pokemon we're learning about next week?
It's got to be Decidueye time.
Funny every time. Mr. Corbin,
Mr. Corbin says Mudkip.
It's not Mudkip. It is the water starter for the Johto region, though.
Oh, Sobble. Sorry.
That's the water starter for the Galar region. Very close.
Oh wait, this is Totodile, right?
Yes. Very good. You're
what?
I love the Totodile line.
We're not going to Decidueye in that, Professor.
No, we're not going to Decidueye.
I've got to put my model away.
I know you worked really hard on filling out the Decidueye paperwork, but unfortunately we are going to Totodile.
I actually know a model too, and her name is Dawn.
Okay, all right.
Oh, Jesus. All right, but that's going to do it for today's lesson. If you have any questions for me, the professor, well, there's just so many different ways you can contact us.
Too many, some would say.
Don't say that. But you can find all of those in the link tree if you would like to donate to the class. Again, our funding has been severely cut down. It's still the principal is still citing the Kangaskhan incident, but I'm like, come on, man, that's ancient history. That happened so long ago. But yeah, so we could feel free to find our Patreon. You don't even need to find it; it's in our link tree.
Find it.
You can donate to the class, and hey, you don't get nothing out of this. You also get a bunch of extra content. You get Q&As, you get outtakes and bloopers, you get wonderful drawings from Mr. Curtis. And guys, I gotta say, all of these things are really starting to add up. There's there's a lot of stuff on the
on Patreon.
On the Patreon.
And gosh, I want to do the Nuzlocke challenge. Please let us hit our goal.
That is true. If we get to $200 a month, we will do a Nuzlocke challenge. I don't know what that is. All the kids keep talking about it, so it sounds fun, I guess, but I don't really know. But yeah, so if you want to leave a rating, you can do that on Spotify or Flapple Podcast, blah, blah, blah. That's enough talking. So until next time, class is dismissed.